This video is about one of my favorite plants, the Ocotillo shrub. My name is Eli Hall with AMS Landscaping out of Phoenix, Arizona. And one of my favorite things about this shrub is just how low maintenance it is. It literally requires no maintenance at all. They stay alive throughout the year. They're a phenomenal plant. They actually do really well in our desert climate. And in some HOAs, they actually allow you to replace, use them as a tree supplement. So if you have an HOA that requires 2 trees in your front yards, a lot of HOAs will allow you to use a Ocotillo. If you're looking for something that's less maintenance and you don't need as much shade as like a tree, these are a great shrub to choose from to consider to replace a tree for. So the description, basically, it's a really large shrub. It gets to be about 15 to 20 feet high. I've seen them really get pretty big in some areas of the valley, but they have these long, stiff, upright branches. They're just like these shoots that just come out right from the ground, and they're really prickly, so they do got thorns. They extend upwards from just this small little base of the plant. It does have these dense clusters of red flowers on the very top, the little blooms. They bloom sometimes through March and June. But I've actually owned an Ocotillo in my own front yard at one point that literally took 4 years to even show signs of green. So sometimes they'll look even dead, even when they're not. The best way to tell if they're not doing well is they start to curve at the top. The branches start to curve. But I always just use a little knife to kind of test to see if there's green behind the stem if you're concerned about whether or not it's doing well or not. They don't really require any water. They get water from our rain here, but if you do supplement that water, you'll get a lot more improved growth. I'd actually just water them in the morning with a hose, like maybe every couple weeks. They don't really require a lot, and they absorb a lot of the water through their skin, not as much through their roots. The roots actually need a lot of well-drained soil, so they can get root rot if they're getting too much water. Now they can live. They estimate to live to about 60 years, but they have been known to live over 100 years in some cases. So they're really just such an easy plant to maintain. They're well adapted to our Phoenix heat. They're just super drought tolerant, and pruning's not required at all. I mean, if you chop them at all, they'll look terrible. And actually, it's just so unhealthy to do for this plant. It would just ruin the shrub and the way it looks. If you do want to cut these back or reduce them in any way, I would recommend cutting them at the base and just taking a whole shoot off to maybe just decrease the size. They're not really made to control the height. So it's not something you want to do. It'll ruin them. They'll look terrible and actually will kill them. I did notice they were mildly toxic to pets. So if that's something that you're concerned about, maybe in a backyard, I would really recommend something like this in a front yard, just because they take so much room and they're just such a great focal point as you enter a property. They're absolutely beautiful. And just an interesting fact, there's actually companies that use the long stems and make fences with them to make it just look a little more a desert adaptable to our environment. So if you have any other questions, my name is Eli Hall with AMS Landscaping. Reach out to us at azlawns.com. Also subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook at AMS Landscaping, and check out our Instagram and Twitter pages at AZLawns. Make it a great day.